The verdict is in. The High Court delivers its ruling on the Dr. Maria Agard case against the opposition Barbados Labour Party. That's the story we're tracking in your Barbados Today afternoon news update for Friday, December 29. I'm Kamar Jordan. The High Court has thrown out the case brought by Dr. Maria Agard challenging her expulsion from the opposition Barbados Labour Party in November 2015. Dr. Agard had claimed that she was unfairly dismissed because she openly challenged opposition leader Mia Motley's leadership.
The court came to the conclusion that Mr. Agard and her attorneys at law sued the wrong persons using the wrong claim form, the wrong form, had no cause of action. In fact, they spent more time on PR than reading the law.
Obviously, the Barbados Labour Party is happy that this matter has now come to an end. At this stage, it's been almost 2 years. We've contended all along that we treated Dr. Agard fairly and that her action, as Mr. Ford just said, was always wrong, that she was suing the wrong party in the wrong way, with the wrong documents, with the wrong cause of action. The court has in fact held that this morning and described the action, the claim forms as being a catalogue of errors, no less than 7, and as having had a situation where it was vacuous and incoherent at best.
Well, in other news this Friday, the opposition BLP is accusing the government of attempting to impose controversial measures to arrest crime in the country. During a packed meeting at the Lawrence Tigay Primary School last night, former Attorney General and St. Joseph MP Dale Marshall charged that the Friend Stewart administration was seeking to table amendments to the Police Act in Parliament last week that could have led to possible introduction of curfews, among other things.
The opening words of this bill said that they wanted to increase the statutory powers granted to the Commissioner and the force with the use of cordons and curfews. So we recognize that there are difficulties, but to impose on Barbadians now, sudden so, and without any consultation, the introduction of powers to the police so that they, a police inspector, can decide to impose a curfew on you and you and you and the community in this constituency and around. These are things that are unheard of in Barbadian history. But what is worse is that they sought to do it with indecent haste and without any consultation.
Meanwhile, opposition leader Mia Motley has responded to Prime Minister Friend Stewart's announcement that he has no plans of calling elections anytime soon. Ms. Motley told Party faithful last night that whenever the date is set, the BLP machinery is ready to rock and roll.
The notion that Frontal is going to the end has set people quaking because Bajans cannot believe that there is that much more suffering still ahead of them. But I say to you tonight, hold strain. Because whether it is a short campaign or whether it is a long campaign, this campaign has started and this Barbados Labour Party is ready.
It's been a bumper year for tourism arrivals in Barbados. According to Minister of Tourism Richard Seeley, the country has exceeded its targets and he's already eyeing a repeat performance next year.
We expect that we will finish up the year at 825,000 and therefore we are very pleased in that regard. That was expected and anticipated, and with the commitments that we have going forward, there's no question that certainly by winter 2019, or should I say calendar year 2019, we will go past 1 million cruise passengers in Barbados for the first time.
To sports now, New Zealand trounced the West Indies by 47 runs in their opening T20 game in Nelson this morning. Set a target of 188 to win. The reigning world champions suffered a batting meltdown after star opener Chris Gayle fell cheaply for 12. The home side were eventually all out for 140 in the 19th over. Captain Carlos Brathwaite said the real damage was done in New Zealand's final over when Mitchell Santner and Tim Southey plundered 25 off Williams in a wild over that included 3 no balls. There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional happenings, the new Archbishop of Port of Spain, Jason Gordon, is offering possible solutions to Trinidad and Tobago's vexing crime problem. We get more now in this report from TV6 News.
We have to become people of non-violence. We have to become people of peace. We have to be promoting forgiveness and harmony. And we have to ensure that the people who are on the margins get included in deep ways and have opportunities for development and for flourishing. Because until we do development in those communities, we really can't find the real solution to peace in our land.
The newly installed Archbishop giving his recommendations on how to win the war on crime as he conducted his first press conference after the Mass for his installation on Wednesday night. The Mass occurred at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception in Port of Spain, which saw the presence of the special branch and heavily armed police officers around the church as the President, the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister and members of the Diplomatic Corps were in attendance. The Archbishop said at the beginning of every year there has been a spike in the crime rate.
The problem has become out of our grasp and is bigger than any government in the last 6 governments has been able to deal with. The murder rate this year, how many do we have? 490. Close to the 500.
On the international front, 4 children were among 12 people killed in a fire at an apartment building in the Bronx borough of New York. The victims include a 1-year-old baby. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio said the fire was the deadliest in the city for at least 25 years. The cause of the fire is not yet clear. Eyewitnesses told BBC News they heard people screaming and saw others waiting to be rescued.
People were screaming, and that's how we knew it was trouble, because people were screaming, fire, hell, fire, hell. We knew it was trouble.
I know, I just wake up to a bunch of smoke and that's it, man. The whole building was on fire, that's it.
By the time I got downstairs, the fire had already escalated from 1 apartment to 2 to almost to 3. All I see is a bunch of kids in the fire escape, so obviously they're waiting for the firemen to save them, but in order for them to do that, they have to put the fire out.
This is the worst fire tragedy we have seen in this city in at least a quarter century. Based on the information we have now, this will rank as one of the worst losses of life to a fire in many, many years. Thank God, because of FDNY's quick response, based on the information we have now, at least 12 people were rescued and will survive. We may lose others as well.
And on that sad note, we end our afternoon news update, but there's more online at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper or email updates, or you can like us on Facebook. Of course, if you're moving around Barbados Today this afternoon, you can check us out on Izumi Media and bus terminals, or Screenplay in a supermarket or a gas station near you. Also, listening to Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Kmar Jordan. Have a fabulous afternoon, and please be safe out there.